dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Connor James. First at 4, just hours ago, President Donald Trump landed in Louisville on Air Force One to address a group of veterans attending the American Veterans National Convention. President Trump reiterated his commitment to the U.S. Armed Forces. The president discussed access to health care for veterans and talked about suicide prevention. He also issued an executive action canceling student debt for permanently disabled veterans.
You fought courageously for our country, and now my administration is fighting courageously for you. That's for sure.
Later, the president is attending a headline fundraiser for Governor Matt Bevin. And for the majority...
Connor's trying to take over my job over there, but it has been for the majority of the evening, Connor. We will continue to see the drier skies, and we have seen that throughout the afternoon. We'll go ahead and take you to Buffalo Mountain, where we're seeing a few clouds. It's been beautiful sunshine throughout the day. Those rain chances we've been talking about aren't going to arrive until a little bit later this evening. We'll get into that in just a second. But even looking into downtown Whitesburg, very hot, very humid, and plenty of sunshine over there as well. Satellite and radar haven't had to deal with much. Those clouds will actually continue to increase late tonight, early into tomorrow morning, along with those rain chances. As we go ahead and scan the skies now, looking at a pretty nice clean sweep. Those rain chances nowhere near us yet. Like I said, they're going to arrive just a little bit later. Of course, it's those temperatures still in the 90s today, lower 90s for a lot of us, with those upper 80s looking down into Harlan, mid 80s looking over into Wise, but feeling like those low to mid 90s, so not feeling too much warmer. Dew points are absolutely terrible today, but still definitely on the warmer side. So that cold front's going to move in a little bit later tonight, bringing in those rain chances as we head into the next really couple of days, but that'll also cool us off, especially as we head into the weekend. Now, we are seeing some sunshine in the weekend, but we're going to hang on to a few of those rain chances as well. I'll have a look at that forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Paige. Well, 2 people died in a car crash yesterday in Perry County. One of them, 34-year-old Robbie Robinson. WYMT's Madison Pergram is at the place where Robbie worked and has more on the life he leaves behind.
A community is remembering a man who died in a car crash yesterday. Robbie Robinson died after a 2-vehicle crash on Highway 15. Robinson grew up in Hazard and worked at the Hazard Health and Rehabilitation Center. Charlotte Thornsberry, the administrator at the Rehabilitation Center, says he was great at his job and always went above and beyond with his work.
He seemed to go above and beyond what we would normally be doing, and just talking with the residents, patting them on the shoulder, carrying on conversations, taking time individually.
We'll hear from his family and more about his life coming up at 6. For now, in Hazard, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
The Hazard Health and Rehabilitation Center is collecting donations at their front office and having a silent auction on Friday to help Robbie's family. And a fire in Floyd County destroyed one couple's home last Wednesday. Now they're just trying to plan for the future, starting from scratch. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more.
I'm here on Andy Allen Branch in Floyd County, where the Ousley family lost everything last week in a house fire. The homeowners, Linda and Columbus Ousley, are still unsure how the fire started. It destroyed their home of nearly 30 years. Linda says she was home when the flames started in the back room of the house. She says the couple lost everything, including all their pictures and many memories. But she says it could have been worse.
I was in the house and I seen all that smoke, and I just got out alive, is all I can say.
Just next door to the former home is a trailer where the family is currently staying. There is no electricity to the home, so they are using generators for power. But they say they're just lucky to be alive. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Later, we will hear more about the fire and the Ousley's family's plans for the future. Well, the Trump administration rolled out a new plan this morning designed to discourage migrant families from coming to the United States. The new regulations would effectively end the Flores Agreement, which requires the government to release detained migrant families into the U.S. within 20 days. Under the new plan, migrant families would stay together but would be held indefinitely while judges consider their asylum request. So far this year, the federal government says almost 475,000 families have been apprehended or encountered at the southwest border, 90% whom crossed illegally.
By eliminating the incentive to make the journey to the United States as a family, the new rule will reduce the unprecedented volume of family units that has strained the already limited resources of our department components and put children throughout the region at risk.
The American Civil Liberties Union released a statement calling the new regulations yet another cruel attack on children who the Trump administration has targeted again and again in its anti-immigrant policies, adding the government should never be jailing kids. In recent weeks, police around the county have foiled multiple alleged mass shootings. Newly released body cam video shows a 15-year-old being handcuffed in Florida after posting on an online video game under a fake name that he vowed to bring his father's M15 assault rifle to a school and kill 7 people at minimum. His mother insists it was just a joke, but her son is still facing a felony charge.
How do we know he's not going to be the kid from Parkland? He's not going to be the next kid, the kid that shot up Sandy Hook. We don't know that.
Authorities say in most cases, suspects will signal they might be planning something. The FBI does have a 24-hour hotline to track down online threats, but police say if you see something and know the person is or where they are, to call your local police. And Ohio Governor Mike DeWine signed an executive order for school safety today. The executive order, called the Ohio Strong Initiative, is a package of 17 proposals to help reduce violence and increase mental health treatment, focusing in on schools. The program includes an anonymous tip line for school safety and threats for violence. The program will also scan social media looking for threats against schools. In addition, it calls for yearly summits reviewing school safety.
To make sure schools are safe places for children to learn and for teachers to work, I will be signing in a moment an executive order establishing the Ohio School Safety Center. An executive order that will establish the Ohio School Safety Center.
The Ohio School Safety Center is a new division within the Ohio Homeland Security at the Ohio Department of Public Safety. DeWine announced the Strong Ohio initiative just days after the Dayton mass shooting. A New Mexico church is being repeatedly targeted by vandals. It's happened so many times that the church has not been able to clean it up. The Metropolitan Community Church has been at this location for 18 years and has never experienced anything like this. The church was vandalized 6 times. At the altar sits every rock that caused damage to the building. While police are looking into the crime, the church has this to say to the people who did it.
For the person that's doing this, it's like, number 1, please stop. Number 2, we forgive you.
The church says it will cost an estimated $5,000 to fix the damage. The cost does not include the price to buy new security cameras. President Trump continues to insist the economy is strong, even as he acknowledges he is looking at tax cuts to give a boost. The Trump administration has several levers to pull to stimulate economic growth, including a payroll tax cut that would benefit most workers, or a cut to capital gains taxes, which would mainly help wealthy investors. This comes as Wall Street seeks to recover from several days of sell-offs.
So the economy is doing very, very well. We'll see what happens with the Federal Reserve.
The global economy and trade is high, and it's a priority for the president when he meets the world leaders at the G7 summit in France this weekend. Heading over to Wall Street on this Wednesday afternoon, the Dow closes up more than 240 points. Well, straight ahead on First at 4, from a janitor to the leader of his school, one Colorado principal is showing students that they can achieve their dreams if they work hard.
And rain chances will continue to increase over the next few days as that cold front moves into the mountains. I'll have those details coming up.